Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a relook at Satisfactory. So, 1.1 is out now. There's a few quality of life changes, some I like, and it's not a huge lot of difference, but overall, for those who are on the fence, and by the way, this is currently in the Steam summer sale, 30% off. So if you're looking to make the plunge, now's the best time to do that while there's a sale on. So, but I love this game. Over, I don't know, 1,200 hours now, probably. So, started way back in, perhaps, I can't remember what early access version. It might have been 5.5 when I started. I know we had pipes and that when I came in. So yeah, I'll be doing this for quite some time, and so I just thought, you know what? I've had a bit of a break of Satisfactory. Let's see what's new. So I came on obviously when it went to full release to 1.0. So what we're looking at here is obviously our improved base, I guess we can say. Well, effectively this is our hub. So it's a bit more flushed out now with a working toilet. In the that you can play a game on, and here you can actually do some customization, and here's my little customization. Nothing much else in here of interest, but what I wanted to do was I'm going to show you how I got to here in a few little clips later in this video. But right now I just wanted to explain where we are now and why this is such a great game that you'll probably keep on coming back to. So let's get to it. This is a 50 hours save so far. Not a lot done. So this is a bit of a time sink type of a game. So let's run through what I've done. I skipped 0, to be fair. I went straight into tier 1. So obviously I got the base building, some of the basic logistics just to help me get started, and then got through these relatively fast. I'll show you some bits and bats of that progress later on in the video. Then we moved into the bit we're in now. So I cleared everything off. I've got coal power, because obviously that's the goal, to get some consistent power. Obviously got my steel going, and then I got my blueprinter, which is crucial for my gameplay anyway, because I do utilize that quite a bit. We'll take a look at that just shortly. So we're up here. If I click the menu for the map, this is where we are located. So it's a pretty much northern as part of the map. Now, some of these changes, obviously it changed in 1.0 where the resources are. So oil is generally in this area, and I think over here as well. Coal is here. This is where we're based, and our coal is pretty much in the same place. We've got 3 pure nodes up here, which we're going to have a look at that base in the center in a little while. And then this here has got some coal. Some of the resources for coal have been removed from here, and there's no quartz here now. So quartz is not as easy to get to now, but a little bit later in the video I'll show you where I get some quartz now. So, well, basically what we're doing here is getting the base ready, and this will form a few more videos I'll probably do later on as we build this new thing up. And I'm not sure why that's not changed color, actually. because that should be in my color of red. Must admit, I didn't notice that. Oh, hey ho. So what have I got going here? So obviously, like I said, not much happening here. I am feeding this machine, this space elevator, just to get me a little bit more ahead, so I can move towards the oil sort of side. I see there's quite a bit of going on that, but eventually this area will have more for my main base, which will be to feed the space elevator in the first instant. And obviously this is where my blueprints are going to be. So, I mean, 48 hours, 50 hours-ish seems a long time, but a lot of that was done, you know, making some important blueprints. I don't know why I've not got enough things to show you, but let's see what I need here. So I'm probably just shy of some bits, so I might have to show you them after. I need to pick up some what's it called, some reinforced iron plates there and some steel beams and such. I have just started. I have flight mode enabled, by the way. That's my only sort of difference I'm playing. Well, apart from I put more or less all the animals on passive because I can't be bothered with that side right now of the of this game. Just doesn't float my boat. But I've started to put together my first storage area, so we'll see how that progresses in future videos. But this is the stage when you get to coal. This is the stage where you actually get more base setup, where before that it's pretty much spaghetti junction everywhere as you're just trying to get through the milestones. But I'll take you up to this area first, which is where I built our massive power supply or power plant. So obviously at this stage we're looking at coal, so that's much better than I was trying to run on bio sort of stuff. This comes from these coal generators, as we know, and I've got all these pretty much all on pure nodes, so I'm getting 240 items per minute with no overclocking. So these three are feeding these handful. I know I've clocked these to double up to 200%. So, and it's giving us, as you can see there, a grand total of 6 gig. Now this is not exactly from here because I've got another smaller facility which I first did on the grid, and I'll show you that over there when we get to it. But this is our main power station, and as you can see, I'm looking at a capacity of just under 6 gigs with a potential current production of nearly 3.8 gigawatts, but I'm only currently consuming a little, you know, under 1.5 gigawatts, because obviously a lot of the plants, if they get full of materials, they stop drawing on power because it's not needed. So, but basically that's all my power is going to be here, fed by these water extractors. And this area is pretty much, you know, obvious to be some sort of power station, because mainly up here you've only got the 3 nodes now, And we got a SAM node up here, which is only a very impure one. So I just got that going really just to get through the MAM stuff. And I've got some batteries as well, just in case something happens, which I did have an issue before when I was trying to mess about with my grid itself and getting the wiring all sorted out. I inadvertently shut my grid down, and yep, it was a bit of a pain to get it going because obviously you need a lot of power to power all them up there initially to get it going. So yeah, made that little bit of mistake, but no, we covered it, and I've got these just in case something should go wrong with the grid. And these are 100 megawatts each. So, and they'll go for an hour. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 27, 36. So that's pretty much that for an hour. Well, about half of that actually, but enough to keep that going anyway. So this is what we got here. Now over, if I just speed that up a little bit. Now if we go over the water here, over the waterfall, which is much nicer than it used to be in early access. But I still think it's got a little bit more to go, but there's a little bit more, yeah, there's a bit more blockiness still. It's not 100% that, is it? But it's not too bad. Certainly a lot better than it was. Right, now here's some examples of some of the blueprints I've made. So we've got a regular sort of, if you're familiar with the game, you know this area has got a lot of nodes for limestone. Pretty much that's 120. And I think my limestone needs 240. So, although this is not struggling, I would pretty much upgrade that to 240 per minute. And that should run 100%. I just dropped it in there. It is a Mark II miner. Let's see if this is the same. Oh, this is obviously I forgot to do that one. So this one has already been done. That's 240 a minute. It's already full anyway, but it's a nice and clean, very basic. But this is what I'm looking at, this save. Rather than a lot of the enclosed ones I did in 1.0 and before. In the blueprints, I've gone to a more of an open sort of like feeling, more industrial sort of look. Again, making sure it always has hack access, even though I generally use this flight mode all the time. I don't know. I just think it just needs to have that access. So if you didn't have it, you always have somewhere to be able to go up there and see it, should you want to. And then we come down here. Now this is a lot different than it was earlier. You'll see that in some snapshots later on. But I've pretty, again, similar sort of blueprint here, where I've got a smelter. This is the copper one. Over there are the iron ones, and up there as well. Pretty standard affair. Like I said, 240 in, 240 out. Pretty full right now, and that's feeding this up here, which is a combined cable and coil, which is giving me obviously the cable I need. I need to pick up some of that there, and then coil, some of that there as well. And then down here we do have our solid biofuel biomass burners. So this was what I initially used to power my factory and to get the stuff I needed done sort of quickly. So this was my start, which is obviously a bit null and void. I just haven't got rid of it. I've got rid of most of the buildings that were here now and changed all this to concrete. But it's looking pretty sweet, I think, to be honest. So we go again. We got the smelter here, this time for iron, and that is giving us reinforced iron plates, which I actually need to take a couple of those, and that is through an assembler. And then we've also got this one, which is giving us some. I've got plenty of them anyway, probably not too many. Well, this is giving us these modular frames, which are pretty important for our early sort of mid-game type of, you know, tier 3 sort of stuff, which we'll need to move to tier 5. Here we got our standard, so again we're going off our 2 smelter setups here for the iron, and that is giving us, we need a couple of those actually, and this one should be for the plate side, like so. And this is a little on its own because the Caterium sort of node has moved. So there's one here, which I'm utilizing right now to get quick wire. So that should be pretty much full of quick wire, and it is. Quick wire is needed a few things. I think it's probably needed for mortars. Well, it's needed for statters, which we need for mortars as well. So. And then all the way over here, because I ran out of some stuff I needed for modular frames. I was doing modular frames over here. There is a nest here which has not been converted yet, so this is the original, but this was my original modular frames. So that's coming from this baby here, fed by a very, very low powered 120 ore per minute core, and another one there as well, which is providing the reinforced iron plate, which is needed to do our modular frames. So this is another one I created here, and then obviously there's this one as well, which to get me some extra concrete. And then just over this hill here, I had this one as well, which I needed because obviously to get the power plant going, I needed some copper sheets, so I had to create this one over here. And then this is my first power plant, which was basically pretty much done on a huge budget. So yeah. I mean, at this point, I have come back here to look to upgrade these with some power shards to actually overclock them. But when I initially did this, I didn't even have overclocking available. So all this was done based on a very, very low. You know, as soon as coal was available, I knocked this together. So this was about 1.2 gigs, I think, in all. Some of these are pretty poor. I mean, that miner there is fully upgraded with power shards, and it's still only giving me what, 75 a minute. So pretty poor. Not ideal, those things, but it gave me that source of current constant power early on, bringing in the steel industry. So obviously I had my coal up there, which is for the main power plant. I utilised the coal down there for a power plant as well, but there's not very much. A lot of them are in pure nodes, so they're not very good anyway. So what I'll be looking to do here is to build out a more robust steel factory, utilising the coal here. So there's 4 coal nodes here of varying sort of like between normal. I think they're all normal actually. So they're all basically upgraded with an overclock to 240, which is all I need. So that runs them 2 in there, and then there's 2 further here. So they are 240 as well. And then up in the corner up there, there is some pure nodes, which are, well, they're all pure nodes iron. So there's 4 iron nodes coming into here. So I've got it coming through this rack system, going down over to the steelworks there. So I've got 4 of these iron ore at 240 per node. I've got some a pure node here for concrete, and then up to this end we have 2 pure nodes for copper. But rather than just dragging the copper down, what I didn't have was a good supply of decent copper sheets. So instead I just created these 2 here, which turns both of these into copper sheets, because we have enough wire and cable from the other sort of stuff, so we don't need any more of that. So yeah, so I'm bringing the copper sheets and just for now just piling them into this to fill up all of that. And this wasn't done by blueprints. These were all done just offhand. There's a huge tracking system underneath here, which looks a bit complicated, but it's quite straightforward. Effectively just brings the iron in from this side and the coal from this side, fires it into there. Now I am using an alternate, the best alternate one really in my eyes, because it's cleaner. You just need 40 iron ingots and 40 coal, and you get 60 steel ingots. So I mean, it's a really good delivery system. So basically 4 of these will give me 240. So that's what I've got. So 4 here goes 240. These 2 connect to these 2 to give me another 240, and these connect to give me another 240, etc, 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 which gives me 6 240s. 5 of them are taken here, which will give me the steel beams, and 1 of them is for the steel pipes, which is, well, more than enough. So that's all I need. Excellent. And then finally we've got a concrete here, which I've upgraded to 180 because I have a pure node up here for iron, which gives me 240 ingots. That I got that through an alternate to the iron pipes, using 240 ingots per minute through that one, which gives me 60 steel pipe per minute. And this one is an upgraded for 90 and 90, which is 180, so that's why the limestone was 180, and this gives me the 60 concrete I need. And this feeds this alternate, which I've got all the alternates. I've only been up, getting them as I've been finding hard drives, but this one is quite a useful one. It gives me the steel pipe of 60, 50 concrete, so I'm getting 10 more than I need, and that gives me 10 per minute for my encased industrial beam once I've overclocked it to 250%. So that's the good base that we've got here, and yeah, it's definitely some. Oh, I should show you this as well. There is no used to be some quartz over there pre-release during early access. They were removed, so your only quartz really local is down through here. So it's a bit Spider City, So if you don't have, like I have, if you have, your predators to be attacking you, then yeah, you'll have to clear this out. But basically, this gives us pretty much 240 per minute pure node there. It gives us another pure node here. We do get this one as well, which is a normal node, but I've upped it to get some SAM out of there as well. And then finally, right to the back down here, there is another normal mode for quartz, but obviously I've overcooked this to 200% to get beat 240 minute. So this is where you're going to get all your quartz and that sort of stuff from. I'm not doing anything in here because it's a bit tight, so I'm just dragging out the raw materials here, and I've been hand making it for when I need to unlock a few things, but I will set up in this area at some point some sort of like silicon, which we will need in this probably in this area here. And that's all we got, guys. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to break from this, and I'll show you how we get to this point. But if you have any questions or you have anything you'd like to see in more detail, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. But let's go through it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start a brand new game. But before we do that, let's check out some options. So this is version 1.1 as we stand. So let's see what's changed. So I've got creature hostility already there on passive, as you'll notice. It's just something I sort of don't bother with generally. I do have it sometimes, but if you run it on anything else, then it's your mileage. But for this video, I'll be leaving it on passive for now. Keep an inventory. If I do die, I'm just going to keep the equipment because I can't be bothered. Trying to find a death sort of like box. Don't really know what that does. Whenever we're going to start to move, yeah, seems alright. That's where you want to dismantle crate if you run out of space, I guess, in your inventory. I think that's probably merge and dismantle crates, so you've not got hundreds all over the place. Sample copy, yeah. Okay. I've been through these even in 1.0, so I don't know when these were exactly changed. But yeah. Definitely some granular options there is now. I think I'll leave mouse smoothing off because I'm on a controller, by the way, so I am going to be using a controller through this, so we'll be obviously checking that out as well. Quite like using the controller. Let's have a look what else we've got. I do normally disable seasonal events, but there's no seasonal events going on right now, so there's no need for that. So, excuse me, I seem to have still a bit of hay fever. I'm going to probably change my cap my FPS to 60, and that's purely because I do some. That's what my recording is in 60, so I might as well see it for you guys. Watch it hopefully. So I'm going to leave that as pretty much it. It seems to be working all right. Motion blur off. Yeah. Put it on DLSS. That's my computer. Let's see if we can go on I want it on performance anyway. Conveyor belt time, frequency, unlimited. Yeah, that seems all right. Desync is not needed. It's instant. I think this will be all right. I think. Camera shake intensity. Don't want that at all. I'll just leave it. Let's see. Field of view should be right at 90. Change anything there. Right. Let's go a new game. So there's obviously the same 4. Rocky Desert is usually where I like to go, but Northern Forest is next to Rocky Desert, really. These are just areas of the same map, by the way. There is only one map. It's hand built as well, so this is not auto-generated. It's hand-built by the devs. Dune Desert is pretty good, usually, to be fair. Northern Forest, it's okay. Rocky Desert usually has a good mix of things. Grassfields is okay for starting, but you struggle for coal and progression, so you have to move too far out. So I think I'm going to stick with Rocky Desert. So what are we going to call it? Let's call it Pops G 1.1. Why not? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip the intro because, you know, if this is new to you, then I advise you to do the intro, but I'm not going to do it in this part. That's just... Right, you have to confirm. Now, the only thing I want to make sure on this, so this is like the optional options. So these will affect, you know, any achievements and things like that. But I am going to tick flight mode. It's the only thing I'm using on this because I enjoy flight mode. It's the only thing I used to use as a mod. Everything else will keep it sort of thing. Is you can even check your progression here should you want to miss a few. I'm obviously starting at tier 1, which is. And you can disable spiders if you like that, if you don't like that sort of thing. So let's crack on from there. Right, so let's get some things down. This is the top of manual crafting, guys. First couple of milestones, well, first couple of tiers, to be honest. It's a lot of this, unfortunately, but yeah, it won't be for long. Oh, miners. Can't wait till we get proper miners. Then we'll have to do this. Right, let's get our first milestone complete, and then we can get some proper clearance done. Our bio.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel created from any biomass ensures maximum efficiency.
Right, now we need some wood, and this is the best way to do it. First thing you should be getting, without a doubt, because this needs power. And right in the beginning stages, this is what you need to get, you know, because all manual power. Ooh, it's good to slide. Good to slide. Fastest way across, guys. Right, he's coming back. And we're in for a landing. Woo. Let's get these milestones done. Logistics. Means we can start splitting stuff now and getting some stuff done. Take off.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now.
Okay, so now we got foundations. We can start to get things a little bit more organized. So we want concrete as soon as we can, because that only takes 1 resource, as in concrete. This unfortunately takes 2. But, you know, for now, it's all we've got. So, and we need to get the concrete from the shop once we unlock all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, for now, at least it gets us on a foundation, which is where we really want to be, because that's how we can build more, you know, better and more efficient. All right, let's down the shop now. We've got enough for that, so we need to get some tickets, which we need a sink for that, but in here is where we'll get all the stuff we need to tie things together. And if I can work this out, so there's all the wall mounts for your conveyors and all that sort of stuff, power outlets for walls. We need all that. We need, especially need the floor holes and stuff. Yeah, they'll be important later on when we want to, you know, make it look a bit nicer. Probably, or definitely need, this is where we get the concrete from, folks. Right, we need the biomass burners finally. We can get some sort of control over our situation and we don't have to rely on the hub or individual. Let's just get it all into one location, then we can just feed that with the little system we've made to create our solid biofuel. Perfect. Get this in. Right, we're going to drop in finally our space elevator, which we'll see once we fill it up with the necessary stuff, us moving towards tiers 3, which means we get coal and we can really start to build, because as soon as we got coal we can start really putting this factory together. All this is temporary stuff right now. We just need to get all this you know, done as quickly as we can, just to move it forward so we can get to coal. That's the first main target, because that gives us definitely the potential of making some nice looking factories, getting some efficiency into our build. So yep, this is the first step. All we need now is to get the stuff, which we need 50 smart plates, and then we're cooking with coal. Tier 3 will come for us. Right, we're going to feed this. So we got quite a few. It's been ticking away. Smart plating on its way, and then we can fire off our space elevator. Finally, we're done. We're done. Right, take that out of there. We don't need that anymore. Let's bang this into our elevator. So phase 1. Da, da, da. Always a pleasure to do this. This is a lot nicer, by the way, than it was.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation.
Yeah, we don't
Congratulations,
really
the Phase 1 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 1 will be completed and the distribution platform will be constructed. After completion of Phase 1, the technologies of Tiers 3 and 4 will become available in the hub. Highlights are automated power, steel production, personnel transportation, and many more. Completing Phase 2 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. New project parts will need to be produced and delivered to the space elevator as you have done previously. Continue to construct, automate, explore, and exploit for a better fix-it future.
In early access, so this is quite a nice little touch.
Phase 1 of Project Assembly completed. This is only the beginning of Project Assembly. There are, however, numerous cavities on their head which could fulfill a similar function. Research the remains in the MAM to establish classification and potential countermeasures.
Ooh, let's get rid of that spider. We'll need that as well. Oh, there's another one there for us. Not going to be using this yet, but get them when you see them. They'll be important later. Right, the MAM. This is where we sort of think everything up. And I've done quite a few already, so we just need to just keep going on so we can open up smart splitters and all sorts of good stuff. Definitely. Definitely don't ignore this part on the MAM. Okay. We're going to be starting our first power plant here with coal, just in this sort of western area.
Interesting,
Poor,
most pioneers already
these
had coal power set up by this point because they understood their responsibility to humanity. Adjusting.
Okay, we need to add this bit of water pipe. And then, actually, probably don't want to go too far. So let's connect these. So we need this pipe here. Now, if you put snapping on, so you can try to do it yourself and you'll get the guide. But if you hit right button, which is, I can't remember what it is for the key, it locks on automatically. So, we're starting to get some power. Alright, this will take over 1 gig at the end, which will certainly give us always taking a while to get here. It will settle itself out, it'll be a bit up and down until a little time has passed. It's looking pretty good, actually. We're getting there. Right, our first hard drive. Gonna need this to open up them alternate recipes. Definitely need cast screw for one of them. And there's loads of other useful ones. I'll be adding that to the build as soon as I can get it, but cast screws is the crucial one for us because screws is very important early build, and they're a pain. So cast screws make it a lot easier to make, and especially when you want to add them into blueprints, you get a lot more for your buck. So yeah, and don't forget to collect everything what's around there as well. Right, it's time to make our proper power plant, and this is the area I'm going to do it on the lake. Now there are 3 pure nodes here, which are going to give us probably quite a few gigabytes when it comes down to it. So there's only these 3 up here now and 1 SAM node. There's 1, there's 2, and there's the 3rd. So this is what we're going to use, and obviously we're going to use them for the coal, and then the water obviously for the water extractors. So we'll get rid of this guy so he's not in our way. Especially now I've made my gun. Why not? Oh, she's getting on. She's quite. I mean, it's mid-air, but you know, we'll fix that as we go along. But yeah, it's coming along. Oh, nudge is such a vital. I mean, if you hold right thumb button, if you're playing on your controller, it puts it into to lock in. You can do this on holograms, but you cannot do this on anything that you sort of like want to select, and it makes placing it so much easier. You can just do it so exact. But some of these are awkward to put in place, like these what I'm doing now, just to be the little extra touches. So just hold right thumb, and then we can move it like so. Beautiful. Very nice. Oh, finishing touches, finishing touches. These are all the finishing touches you do. I mean, I will go across and do a lot more when it comes, you know, some spare time, but these little touches just add a bit of detail. So we got this base right below us now, so I'm going to get the blueprint. This is going to be where we're going to live for some time. I'll bring the, you know, the space elevator down here too, but this is where we're going to have our main base, and I will put up some sort of storage area here too. But yeah, this is it, folks. I'm going to drop this down and probably have a bit of a break. And if this ends the video, then thanks for watching. Hope it's been useful to you at the end of the day.
Once you have built a satisfactory blueprint, interact with the Blueprint Designer terminal to save it. It will then be available in the Blueprints tab of your build menu. Blueprints can always be edited to correct mistakes or optimize. If you find yourself struggling to work within the set size restrictions, remember that this is a you problem, and efficiency can always be improved.
So we'll leave it there. I will see you again. Thanks for watching.